And this is Abraham Salton with one more Fast CSS4 tutorial on ActionScript, and today we are creating a preloader. For this exercise we have a stage with one, which is going to be the text box that shows the percentage that was loaded or not. Text boxes have three types. It could be a static text, it could be an input box, or it could be dynamic. In our case, we need a dynamic text because values are coming from ActionScript, and only a dynamic text box can receive values from ActionScript. Instance name is also vital since that's the way ActionScript relates to the object. The underscore txt enables code hinting as that drop-down box with all possibilities after a object name that shows when you press a dot, without methods, without all properties, and that's more or less. Now with our stage ready, so simple, we're ready to move on to our code. Right, ready to code, and we'll be working with two variables. First one, everybody knows, URL request is the path telling ActionScript the location where the file that we wish to load, the location where the location is at. So I gave you a name, it's in black. Rec URL request is a new URL request, and I'm going to type only the file name because it's sitting on the same folder as our FLA file. It's going to be the clock. Clock is less than 12. You can have your own Swift file, it's just only a demonstration. And now let's create our loader. Now the loader, I know it sounds funny, it's strange, but ActionScript is case sensitive, meaning that loader with a capital L is a reserved word, as you can see, becomes blue. But nothing stops me from naming loader with a small l my variable. So to make things clear for me, I'm telling that loader is a loader. Sounds funny. Let's do it again. I'm creating a variable called loader with a small l that belongs to the loader class. And if you ask me what is a loader, loader is a recipient for the file, meaning that in order to manipulate what we receive from the URL request, we are going to put a recipient called loader. Only when loading is completed, I wish to display the item on stage. Until then, all I want the user to see is that percentage growing, 15%, 20%. Alright, so therefore we're going to tell Flash step by step what should be done. Let's start by the end. Alright, let's start by the end actually. When the file is completely loaded, only then we want to display the instance of the file on the stage. So I'm going to tell Flash, when, only then, when it's completed, you add an instance of this file into stage. For this, we're going to use the addChild function. addChild is all case sensitive, meaning that the A has to be small, child has to have a capital C. Loader we already know is the variable that contains the recipient for the file we are importing. Well, until then, I want to display the percentage, the progress of our download, and that's the preload function that we're writing now. How does it work? Alright, the progress event comes with two properties. The first property is bytes loaded, that's the amount that's already downloaded, and bytes total, that's the total size of the file. And the percentage is going to be the result of a formula, which is 1 total and loaded divided one another times 100, round, integer. So we are creating a variable called %, and I'm telling Flash the equation, take the bytes loaded, divide by the total, then you multiply by 100, and put this value into the variable I just named percentage. Eventually, we'll put this number into our text box we created. Only one small detail. Dynamic text boxes, by definition, it will only take string values. And as we said before, the percent variable we created is a number. So we have to throw a function called string that will transform the number, the value, into a string, and then put it on the text box that we have on stage. The code that you see here, the source file is available from the website. People come, people copy, extensively documented code. You can customize, you can change, and let's put on just what we said, the value into the preload text. Now I forgot to put the dot text over here. I'll fix this in a second. And let's add the percentage sign so we can display it on stage. Pretty much done with the function. Now let's do the actual code. The functions are ready. There's never really a difference because functions can be on any place during the code, because when Flash hits a command go to this function, it scans the whole document for the function. So it doesn't really matter is it in the beginning of the code or the end of the code. In our case, to have things clear, we place on the beginning of the code. Alright, let's first add our event listener. And you know what? When the event is complete, fire the file loaded function. So sweet, so simple. And we already know that the file loaded function will display on stage a copy of our clock. Now let's put another event listener that meanwhile the file is not completely loaded, display that percentage on screen, because we want our user to know that we did not go away, that we are taking care of his request. Again, progress with capital P, and I'm going to have to tell him that while it's not loaded, is to fire that function that's called preload. Don't forget the semicolon, vital. And last but not least, let's tell the loader, which is the loader class, to load the URL request. So far so good. Let's fix that .txt text I forgot to put, and I guess we have to save. If it's not saved on the same folder as the file to be loaded, it won't work. So we have to be saving our file now, and let's make sure that's saved on the right place. File save as. The truth is I already saved the copy before doing the tutorial, and let's do it again. And here you go on the same SWF file. Alright, good to go. And let's go. Let's check our syntax, no errors. And here we go. Let's test our movie. Now, the files are sitting on my hard drive, so there's not a delay. We want to simulate the delay of the download, so let's ask for download settings. Has to be with this preview screen on, otherwise you won't see on the menu. Control view and ask for 14K, that's a dial up. Here is our percentage. Let's repeat this again for make sure that it's clear. For view, and then we ask for simulate download, and let's play our movie again, and there is a percentage. Thanks for watching my tutorial. I'll be glad to receive emails or questions, suggestions, or remarks. And files, source code is available from the website. Thanks for watching my tutorial.